There are three very important aspects here. One, Rahul Gandhi insisting that there is evidence. He says there is 100% evidence, he claims, of a bias, of the electoral roll not being okay. In Bihar, RJD is not just going after the special intensive review of the voter list, but they're saying they're even considering boycotting elections. The BJP, of course, now saying that all of this is just admission of failure. They know they will lose elections. That's why they're making excuses right now. Let's now throw it open to a wider panel and get our experts to comment on this. We have Syed Zafar Islam, national spokesperson and political and economic affairs voice of the Bharatiya Janata Party. He's former member of Parliament of Rajya Sabha. Dr. Pooja Tripathi is the national spokesperson of the Congress Party. Ravi Shankar Ravi of the RJD will join us in a moment. Amitabh Tiwari is one of the finest political voices in terms of a political strategist, commentator and election analyst and researcher who joins us on the broadcast. Also with me is Muhammad Amin, a former joint director at the Election Commission. There are many questions that are now being asked of the Election Commission, and he'll perhaps help us understand the allegations and the response of the EC. Dr. Pooja Tripathi, is there concrete evidence? What evidence does Rahul Gandhi have to claim 100% proof of Election Commission complicity in facilitating cheating in Karnataka and in a particular constituency in Karnataka? And if that evidence is there, one, why haven't you approached courts or put it in public domain, madam?
Gaurav, he's leader of opposition. And I'm going to start by saying whose country is it anyway? When the leader of opposition goes on to, so frustrated, he goes on to say, we'll come after you. And the biggest leader of opposition in a state like Bihar goes on to say that we have no choice other than to boycott polls. It, raises structural issues of institutional integrity, accountability, transparency, and the strength of democratic discourse. We definitely have evidence. Rahul Gandhi will come up with how the whole machinery was involved in, helping BJP win in a constituency in Karnataka, and we will be public with this detail. And as far as approaching the courts, approaching the ECI, we have been doing it since last December 2024, after the Haryana elections, after the Maharashtra elections. Every time we have approached the Election Commission, but we just raised two issues, but the Election Commission has just comes out with just one sentence that is an absurd statement, unverified claims. Look at the statement they brought out today on the SAR issue that has been, rocking both the parliament and the streets of Bihar. They very petulant, very childish, very immature statement that has come out in the state that's going to the polls next year.
Okay.
So we have credible evidence and we will be going public with it very soon.
Fair enough. Dr. Syed Zafar Islam, is there a fair point that the Congress raises that you have the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha and the leader of opposition in the Bihar Assembly both raising issues of a bias or lack of transparency in the functioning of the Election Commission, or the Election Commission helping the ruling party win elections? Rahul Gandhi says that SIR in Bihar is a desperate, what an opposition leader is saying, this special intensive review in Bihar is a very deliberate attempt to delete 50 to 80 lakh voters in favor of the NDA. That's what the opposition is alleging. How will the BJP respond to these specific claims, especially accusation of, one, disproportionate targeting of the marginalized communities and SC/ST voters, sir?
Well, let me respond to your question. I heard the Congress spokesperson, but let me also tell you very candidly that Mr. Rahul Gandhi understands the real dynamics, then he understands the ground realities, and he also understands the prospect of Bihar election. He is going to lose the election, and that has made him frustrated. But he must understand that all the institutional, constitutional, organizational, which is run by constitution, not by his frustration. So his frustration is very well, I understand that he is losing election after election, and even his own leadership is not being accepted by his own lieutenants anymore. And that frustrates him, and his frustration is very well understood by the people also. But he must understand his frustration is for his party. But he has to win the support and confidence of the people, not express frustration time and again. And earlier he used to speak about EVM. Now that has become very outdated. So he has started now speaking about Election Commission, because he knows that there is something which he can speak post the election result, because he is going to lose not Bihar, but all the other places
Okay.
wherever election will take place. And also one more thing, last thing, which I'll tell him, that Mr. Rahul Gandhi, you have to understand that this organization is run by the constitution. Every organization has the constitutional responsibility, like
Okay.
you also have the responsibility towards your party. But you can win vote of the people by getting their confidence,
Fair
not
enough.
by
Dr.
misleading
Tripathi
them.
wants to quickly
Misleading them.
interject before I bring in our other guests. Since you made a direct allegation, Dr. Tripathi, you want to quickly respond?
I think the way Bharatiya Janata Party election spokesperson is calling the elections done and dusted, this goes on to show the credibility of Sir. This goes on to show the massive disenfranchisement of SC, STs, OBCs, and women, because they don't have the documents that have been, unleashed on the common public. We are living in an area where neutrality is compromised. Let's face it. The erosion of the constitutional values of election commission, and we have seen it now. The violation of MCC unpunished, communal rhetoric unpunished, the bad election speeches unpunished. The way the government went on to replace the Chief Justice of India from the appointment committee to a cabinet minister nominated by Prime
So
Minister, everyone is there.
for the moment, let's just stay on the issue of elections and let's restrict
I
ourselves to
request Bharatiya
to
Janata
Bihar and Karnataka, since these are the 2 points that we're discussing
Party
right now.
BJP spokesperson to
Amitabh Tiwari, let me bring you in so that we don't digress from our main issue today. Amitabh Tiwari, Rahul Gandhi's allegations of alleged voter fraud in Karnataka in the past, and you just heard Dr. Tripathi also talk of Maharashtra and Haryana in the past. Plus, you are hearing Tejasvi Yadav hint or say that we're considering a poll boycott in Bihar. Sir, does this raise very serious questions about electoral integrity in our country? In your appreciation, how credible are these claims that there is systematic voter manipulation right from the stage of the voter list and the mechanism? Are there systems in place, in your appreciation, that can either verify or debunk these claims that are being made?
See, clearly there are systems in place, and Indian elections is credited world over. It is acclaimed world over. ECI goes on to many countries to train the polling officers of other countries, that we also know. So while the allegations are serious, we have to be very mindful of the fact, whether it's opposition or the treasury benches, that this dents the credibility or can dent the credibility of the entire electoral process in India. So when an opposition is making allegations, it needs to come up with proof. Now, if there is 100% proof, then Rahul Gandhi, leader of opposition, or the Congress party should provide that proof, and it is the onus will be on the election commission to debunk that proof. Correct? Because let's say we have had 4 to 5 state elections post the Lok Sabha elections. Two
Okay.
have been won by the opposition and 3 have been won by the BJP. So almost 50-50, let's say. Even in
Yes.
the Lok Sabha election, if this was the case, then the opposition would not have been able to win almost 230 seats. The
Yes.
Indian bloc and the Congress party would not have been able to almost
To win
double.
100 seats. Yes.
So the allegations are serious. I'm not saying they are not serious, but we have to be mindful of the damage it can potentially do to the credibility of the electoral system in India. And here the
Are they crying wolf? Is this
Gaurav,
serious?
10
You
seconds,
raise-
please.
Okay, so you want to quickly comment? 10 seconds. Go on, Dr. Islam.
See, I heard Amitabh Tiwari, but exactly just taking his cue from his remarks, that Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji should approach, and I strongly recommend, and suggest him, and I also suggest the spokesperson of the Congress party that you must speak to your leader that he should approach the honorable court, because if he has a proof, instead of making this kind of drama in public or misleading the people, he should approach the court, honorable court, and show all the proof of the Karnataka he has, so that court can take a view and appropriate judgment can be delivered by the honorable court. But this is
Fair
all
enough.
a stunt. This is all a stunt, and the stunt will
In a
backfire
court
on
of
them.
law. Okay, you're saying it's a stunt, may backfire, but let me bring in, ma'am, permit me to bring in Mr. Mohammed Amin to at least make his introductory statement and give his perspective before I come to you for your point of view once again. Mr. Amin, the Election Commission insists that this entire SIR process, this intensive review process is one, transparent, two, participatory, Opportunities are being given for correction from the 1st of August to the 1st of September. What is in your understanding, sir, the allegations that have been made by Rahul Gandhi of mass voter deletion or new names that are being added, and not just of first-time voters, but people who may be in the age group of 40, 50 and so on? How robust are EC's safeguards to ensure eligible voters are not wrongfully removed during this period, sir, or in this exercise?
I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi can understand that he has won the two places from UP and the Kerala.
Why
so he
not?
became
Yes, sir.
two places, member of parliament elected in Lok Sabha, and he is the same person who became as a LOP now. And LOP, he has lot of objection, and other parties also, in case of the Haryana election, Delhi election, and last is the Maharashtra election. And these questions were raised at that time. See, lot of the bogus voter were added in the list of the BJP supporters, and lot of the opposition parties voters have withdrawn from the voter list, final voter list. You know, when we have the elections in every state and in parliament also, in the parliament and assemblies, we are always providing the list for the electoral list to every candidate of the election they contesting. One thing. Second thing, we are always giving the final list of voter list of the state to the state president of the stakeholders, means all the parties. If the independent is here, they can also get the voter list, complete list. How they can say we have the inducted so many at that time when we have the voter list like this time? So this election commission is always in take care. So this time is the special investigation incentive, and we want to clear voters must be voted to the country, and they can participate, our countrymen. So this time we have to delete the death, and they left the places, migrated, and we have inducted what the eligible voters are there. So why
That's a
hue
very
and
important
cry?
point you're making.
If they are not going to participate in the election, listen, one thing more. If they are not going to participate in election as a stakeholder, they may be. But election is going on, and as per the rule of the government and constitutional, election commission has to conduct the elections there. Like I am going to example you. If they are going to threat us, so many times we got the election commission threat. Like Kashmir, you can remember. When Kashmir was there, the Hurriyat persons were boycotted the election. But the election was done at that time. So this is the legal process. Nobody can stop it. And we are doing honestly for every stakeholders. If they are participating,
that's a very important point
we
you're
have
making, sir.
3,000 approximate parties registered in the election commission. They can minimum, they can fight the 500 parties. So independent candidates also can fight. So there is no problem for election commission. Election commission is always doing for the better for all stakeholders. If they are going to understand, it's okay. Otherwise, if they are not going to participate in the election, it's okay. No problem. But the election will be conducted in the same time whenever we need it.
Mr. Amin,
Constitution. So
Mr. Amin, you're making a very pertinent point.
Yeah.
You're making a very important point that it's a participatory process, Dr. Tripathi. It's absolutely transparent. When that final list is prepared, it is shared. If there's an objection, raise it that time. But that time it wasn't done. Respond to what Mr. Mohammad Amin has just said. If you do not want to participate in the case of RJD, it's their loss. For example, the Hurriyat did not participate in Jammu and Kashmir. It was their loss.
You know, Gaurav, by that logic, suppose there's a burglary in my house and I go to the police station and Daroga asks me, why was your guard sleeping? I can't do anything about it. You know, Election Commission of India has a constitutional duty to ensure free and fair elections. And when they say we have given the candidate list, we have given the list, the voter list to your candidates, your booth workers didn't object, what is the role of just shut down Election Commission and let, they can't ensure the two demands. We made a very straightforward two demands which have not been met post the Maharashtra elections. Give us the machine readable Excel format of voter list. You're saying we give it to the individual candidates. We all know the whole election process is a very hectic process. And the moment the election, the whole day is left, the most of the lists are damaged or abandoned. We are asking you an Excel format, simple. We are asking you post 5 p.m. CCTV footage of all the booths, which
Okay.
after the Mahmood
You have
Chacha
lot of the
approached High Court of
objections there.
Haryana, you
And you have
came
gone
out
to
with
the
a
court also.
legislation that
And court
ensured
also
the
given a
CCTV.
verdict against you.
Okay. The moment she completes her point, Mr. Amin, I'm coming to you. Just let her complete her point, and then I'm coming to
Yeah.
you, sir.
So what we are objecting in, sir, is why has election commission took on the role of identifying the citizenship documents. I want to quote the 1995. Everybody's talking judiciary. I want to quote the 1995 Lal Babu sir judgment against the Election Commission of India, where Justice Ahmadi in a 3-judge constitutional bench ruled out the massive citizenship drive in the name of identifying voter list. He ruled out. He struck it down, and that's where the onus. Our citizenship is based on the principle of inclusion. You cannot put the onus on the citizens. Come with your 11 documents and show it. And
But at the
unless you
same
are
time, I'm sure even the Congress party would not want Bangladeshis and Rohingyas to be voting in Indian elections.
look at the election commission
Nobody would want
press
that.
release, Gaurav, look at
At
the
least
election commission press release. Not even one Bangladeshi, Myanmar, Nepalese immigrant have been mentioned. They have mentioned disease. They have mentioned people have changed their address. They have mentioned some 11,000 who could not be identified. Nowhere they have mentioned the Bangladeshi immigrants,
But
Nepali
have they
immigrants, and things.
mentioned something which is illegal? Mr. Amin wants to respond to the specific points you've raised. Sir, go on. Please respond.
Saurav, actually, I am going to tell that if they can remember that in the history of the Election Commission, N. Gopalaswamy was the then Chief Election Commissioner of India, and that was the period 2006 to 2009. And at that time, that was the Congress period. And at that time, Mr. Gopalaswamy won with one voter I card submerged with the this Aadhaar card. At that time, he has called the meeting of the Cabinet Secretary, Home Secretary, and Aadhaar card in charge. And he has submitted to the government at them for the remark. We
Okay.
can have only one I card, that is voter ID card, that will be for all purposes. But this government, Congress government has not agreed on that. That's why we are facing a lot of problem nowadays. Otherwise, at that period, they have done it. This will be smoothly done it. And this
Fair
time,
enough.
we are doing. So why they have the objection and who and cry?
Let
Why
me
they have
bring in
the
Syed
hue and
Zafar
cry?
Islam.
When
Dr.
we have
Islam.
the proper BLOs. Yeah, and we have the
Okay.
proper AERO. We have the DEO. Why they have the problem? If any problem,
Okay.
they can approach to our senior officers. Otherwise, we have the CEO of state. And one thing more.
No, but Dr. Tripathi's
Why
point
we are
was कि अगर
started from this
चौकीदार सो रहा है, which
Bihar,
means is the
I am
Congress
going to tell
conceding
you,
that is the Congress conceding that their poll officials, their party representatives did not do their job when the list came out. That's the point, that the Election Commission is raising at this point, or at least Mr. Mohammad Amin raised that point. But Dr. Islam, the opposition led by Rahul Gandhi has accused the BJP of orchestrating this voter poll manipulation through central interference. In fact, they're naming the Prime Minister, the Home Minister. How would you respond to these allegations of the remote control being in Delhi that is being used in this special intensive review process, that that the voters of the India Alliance are being weeded out, sir?
See, as I said earlier, Gaurav, that they have to find an excuse for their defeat. When I say that, why I say very candidly that they are going to lose, purely because even Rahul Gandhi ji understands, and even Tejasvi Yadav ji understands that the ground reality suggests that there's a massive support for the Bharatiya Janata Party and India Alliance. So they when they don't get the traction, when they go or hit the rally and all, when they do not get the kind of traction they expect, then they definitely know very well that they are going to lose, and that's why they are looking for some excuse and blaming sometime EVM, sometime central leadership of BJP, sometime ECI, sometimes some other reason. But the fact is, I'm again repeating, the fact is, if they have any proof, there is a court of law, they should approach the court and submit all the evidences they have with them. Secondly, by making this kind of a statement in public and misleading the people of this great country, he is also slowly losing the base of his own support base, because people have lost trust in him. His own cadre, his own lieutenant, his own leaders who had earlier been supportive to Rahul Gandhi ji, now in private say that his leadership is going to make Congress a mockery. So that's why I'm saying that these kind of stunt will backfire on them. It
Sir,
is
but it's not
important for
just the
them that
Congress this time. It's the Congress and the RJD together. Dr. Tripathi, I'm just coming to you. Let me
no,
bring
no,
in
that's
Amitabh Tiwari.
Gaurav,
I will let,
Gaurav. See, they are and Tejasvi Yadav understand that in isolation they cannot win. With Congress support, they perhaps could have thought that they can win, but when they realize that neither Congress support nor on their own, they can get enough support from the people of Bihar. That's why they are joining the hands of Rahul Gandhi, but nothing will work.
okay.
Election will
Sir,
happen
that's
as
for
per
the
schedule,
voters to
and they have
decide.
no,
That's for the voters to decide.
and Gaurav,
Dr.
Gaurav,
Tripathi
Gaurav, Gaurav,
fears that
Gaurav,
you may know the
Gaurav.
result before the exam has
No, no,
taken place. And Bihar has stunned the NDA in the past. But be that as it may, sir, it's for the voters to decide either ways.
Gaurav, 10 seconds, 10
Let me
seconds.
bring in. Let me
See,
bring in Dr. Tripathi.
no, 10
Doctor.
seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, second.
Acha, sir,
See,
10 second.
there
10
is
second.
enough redressal headroom available for them. If there is
Okay.
any concern and there is any objection they have, they can approach, as Mr. Muhammad Amin
Fair
Saab
enough.
said, they approach ECI for the redressal of their complaint.
Let me bring in Amitabh Tiwari, because if this Mahagathbandhan does follow through on that boycott call in Bihar or that boycott threat in Bihar, Tejasvi Yadav is kind of suggesting it कि हम इसके बारे में सोच सकते हैं. Rahul Gandhi is also raising very serious questions, like you also mentioned. What does this actually mean for the Election Commission, for India's electoral democracy? And if it just proceeds, if elections proceed, as Amin Saab said, purely with the ruling party, the process will go on whether they participate or not. They insist it's a transparent process. But will this, in a way, end up being a walkover for the BJP, JDU combined, for the NDA?
No, I mean, clearly, if the opposition is boycotting, then it will be a walkover. But this will not send a good message across the world and across the country. See, what is the allegation? Again, what is the allegation? That legible voters are being removed, correct? So 52 lakh voters, the election commission is saying 18 lakh have died, 26 have moved permanently, and 7 lakh have duplicates. This translates into roughly 21,000 voters per seat. This translates into roughly 70 person per booth. So if these voters have not died or they have not permanently shifted, cannot the workforce of RJD, which is the single largest party in Bihar,
Absolutely.
identify these 70 people per booth and bring it to the media that these people are actually have not died, they are alive, and their name should not be removed? Otherwise, how would you prove that these voters who are being removed are not ineligible voters? I mean, you
That's
have
a
to
very
prove
pertinent
this.
point, Dr.
I mean,
Tripathi,
some
that
voters
Mr. Tiwari
that they are
raises.
not
But
dead.
go on, complete your point, Mr. Tiwari. Go on, sir.
I'm trying to say is that you have to give some proof that leave 70. These are 10 voters who are actually alive and their names are being removed. Can they not find 10 voters each booth? Let's say Congress is not such a big force there, but RJD is the single largest party. So they
Yes.
need to come up with evidence, because rhetoric is unnecessarily damaging the reputation of election commission and also damaging the reputation of democracy of this country.
Dr. Tripathi, do respond to this, because for a party like the RJD or even for the Congress, if the EC is lying, it should be easy for them that you've removed these names. These are the individuals. This is what you've done is wrong. Point one. Point two, even in Karnataka, the Election Commission has publicly defended the electoral roll revision process. They've said electoral rolls are prepared, as Mr. Amin said, in a very transparent manner. Copies are shared with all recognized political parties. If you had any problem in Karnataka, why wasn't it brought to the notice of the Election Commission when you saw that there was an issue with it that time?
We will come out, we will be public. Rahul Gandhi doesn't shy away from press conferences as compared to the Supreme Leader. And we will be public with the whole Karnataka study that we have just discovered. We have just, our team, the Eagle team has just discovered. And when we talk about election commission, what we are looking at now, the SIR exercise, the whole massive disenfranchisement exercise, a leader of opposition going on to say we have no choice left than other than to boycott the election. because election commission is not cooperating. Election commission has become the mouthpiece of BJP, where
No, but
dissent
how?
is,
That's the point that is being raised. In fact, Mr. Amin also said, and Amitabh Tiwari just gave you an example. If they've said that so-and-so has died, then they're sharing that entire list. Produce them, that they are alive, you are lying. It's as simple as that, 70 per booth. Shouldn't be very difficult for the RJD or the Congress.
So Gaurav, there are multiple videos on independent YouTuber and Dainik Jagran and Dainik Bhaskar, multiple videos where it is said that BLO is signing the Mritwala column on the form and the person is actually alive in East Champaran. And there have been multiple reports.
Produce it in court, madam.
And that's what Election Commission is not taking account. BLOs are filling it at their women fancies. People have not received enrollment form. And when the whole hoopla is this last 2003 was done in 31 days. It was done in 9 months period. That's what I'm saying. First of all, you give very little time. Then you imposed upon you just remove the Aadhaar, ration card, Epic card, and you just go on to file an affidavit in Supreme Court saying that these are 11 legitimate documents. These 11 documents have an inherent social bias too. In 2025 alone, 9.9 lakh people are flooded and 16 out of 28 districts are underwater. And you expect people to have documents, the 11 documents, the 10th passing, the employment certificate,
Okay.
and falana tikana, everything. And that's
Closing
what we are
comments,
saying.
Mr. Amin. Closing comments. Okay. Okay, Mr. Amin, Rahul Gandhi's narrative of this vote theft, match fixing, all of these and the points that are just being raised, do respond, sir.
We are rejecting everything from the opposition parties, and election commission is always doing crystal clear work. And you see, one thing I am going to mention especially for your public and your participant in the news and countrymen, that if every time we have to start from any place, like one example there, everybody has the objection that this time the SR has introduced from the Bihar. Why? This coming election is from Bihar, that's why we have started from here. Earlier I am going to mention last one. When the EVM was started, that was our Kerala state. So we have Kerala state, first we have started the EVM there. At that time the Congress government was there. And we have to start some, especially some from where we have the elections. At that time we have the Kerala election state. That's why we started the EVM from that place. And then introduced in all over India. Now this is, SR is started from the Bihar. Why? The Bihar election is on the way. That's why.
Fair enough.
And we
I
are
will
doing
let that be the
everything
last
clear
word on this
in
part of
every
the
eyes.
show.
They are not going
Okay.
to do.
You know, you're saying it's a completely transparent process. I'm sorry I've run out of time on this part of the show.